Is it a surprise to anyone to hear that the Quest 2 is still vastly outselling the Quest 3? A Twitter user, Just David, was able to look at some Amazon figures from the last 30 days and saw that on Amazon, the Quest 2 was over double selling the quantities of the Quest 3. This might sound like a shock to some people, as the Quest 3 is the big brand new headset, but at those price points, I don't think this is surprising at all. Especially with Black Friday sales dropping the Quest 2 to basically the point you could buy 2.5 of them for the price of the Quest 3, it makes sense that it's almost 2.5 times outselling it. We reported during Black Friday that they were doing Quest 2s for $250, but with a $50 gift card on different retailers, basically making the headset $200. And yet the Quest 3 didn't see any major Black Friday sales. Some companies offering maybe a $15 gift card with it, still leaving it around $500. This is also going into the holiday season when people are buying each other presents, and if they hear that somebody wants a VR headset, not necessarily a Quest 3, when they go to the store and see one is about $200 and one is about $500, which one are they going to pick? Personally, I don't find this worrying at all, but let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think that this is going to cause some division as developers are trying to figure out which headset to work on apps for? Or does it mean that maybe Meta hasn't really shown people how much value the Quest 3 really has at its price? We told you before, Boz said that the Quest 3 is not getting a price cut anytime soon, so do you think we'll still see this rate of sales between the 2 and the 3? Our Ready Player One vision of being able to be in VR, wireless, and actually running with our physical legs is finally starting to come to fruition. Catwalk is a VR treadmill name that's been known for a couple years, but mostly for PCVR use, potentially wirelessly, but now they've set up standalone VR with the Quest through a new module called the Cat Nexus. This has been out and being tested for a minute with a very few games, but they've officially reached 100+ games that can now be played on the Quest standalone just by having this adapter and installing the software on your Quest. This is pretty exciting to me because I've been waiting on a VR treadmill trying to see when they'd reach the right price point and the right one, and actually the Catwalk right now, if you get the C2 Core, not the newest C2 Plus, you can actually get the full bundle package for under $1,000, which I feel like is the right price for people to actually be able to get one of these in their home. Still very expensive, but the fact that this is a full omnidirectional treadmill for under $1,000 with that wireless module is pretty cool. They've got a sale currently on the bundle deal. Keep in mind, this is one that uses its own dedicated shoes, so depending on how many people you have in your house with different shoe sizes, you would need multiple pairs of shoes. I don't know if it's a coincidence that they named the standalone module Nexus right as Assassin's Creed Nexus came out and actually is compatible with this treadmill already. You can see a full list to all the games that are currently compatible here, from some small indie games even up to big ones like Blade and Sorcery, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and Red Matter 2, which will probably be the first game I try. A big thank you to Cat for reaching out to sponsor today's news section. A couple big notes that I want you to keep in mind, and some big news too. The Catwalk reviews that are currently out mostly are focused around PCVR experience, and there's a lot of largely positive reviews. That said, the Nexus is new and a bit untested. People have been working with it for a while, but it is still early adopter tech. So as they're adding more games, the reviews do seem to be getting more and more positive about how well they're working, but there are some people that have not had perfect experiences with it. That said, I actually have a Catwalk coming. I'll be doing a full review testing it, mostly only on standalone Quest, because I really want to see what that experience is like for you out there. So if you're interested, watch out for that full review that's coming in the next couple weeks. Quest update v60 has started to roll out, and although it has some features, I wouldn't say anything in this is going to be huge or crazy. You'll pretty quickly figure out if you've updated to v60 already, because there are some UI changes you'll probably notice. If you're trying to power down the headset, there's now a sleep menu button, encouraging people to sleep the headset instead of powering off so that it can get those updates it needs and ready for the next time you play it. The update menu itself has changed, makes it a little easier to opt into the new updates. They're also adding some new home environments, which some of them look pretty cool. Home environments probably are more useful for people still on Quest 2. A question to you, do you care about the new home environments that they're going to be adding? Some of them do look really nice, but I know personally, now that I'm mostly using the Quest 3, I would always much rather have the pass-through and be able to see through my headset instead of being in some home environment that cuts me off from the world and then loading into a game. The only real noteworthy and useful feature I'd say from v60 is that now the pass-through is actually going to remain during loading times for games. So if you open a game, it's not going to go to that black screen and then jump into the game. It will stay in pass-through up until the game actually loads. This may not be terribly noticeable though, because it's still up to the developer to decide where it goes from there. So a lot of them that have a black screen opening already, or the game words up on the screen with a black screen around that, it's going to be harder to notice in that case. But as more developers take use of this, you might be able to go straight from home pass-through into game pass-through and never notice that anything changed, which definitely seems like a nice way to not isolate people. And it's nice when you're putting new people in the headset that they stay in that pass-through and feel comfortable seeing everything around them until the game actually starts, and then they forget about it while they're playing the game. The most annoying feature that they're changing here is you're going to be losing some of your phone notifications in your headset. Most likely they're trying to encourage now with WhatsApp and Messenger and whatever else being installed as actual apps on the headset, they want you using them that way instead of just getting all of your notifications from your phone. But already this is upsetting and bothering some people because they had learned to rely on that, and they don't necessarily want one more device logged into their WhatsApp, logged into their Messenger, so that if someone else is using it, all of their messages are popping up then. If you're having problems with the Quest losing your home environments a lot, especially on the Quest 3 for mixed reality, there is now an option to have it constantly uploading your in-home data to the cloud to help it save the rooms. Now, this is something you have to opt into in the settings under Share Cloud Point Data, and what this is claiming to do is it's only sharing the little points around the room that it can see, like the edge of a picture on a white wall, the edge of your desk, something that it's using to identify the space itself. It's uploading those points and is the same as the co-location that's already available for when you're playing local multiplayer games with multiple mixed reality headsets, so that it's mapping out something like the Demio game board to the same spot in the room for everyone. But this is definitely something that I can see people not wanting to do, because people were already worried about having cameras all in their home in mixed reality and uploading data about their home. I'd love to know what you think about that in the comments. Eric for President showed that there's a new layout utility app that brings up some interesting points that you can use inside of your Quest. Like that free app we showed you recently, Reality Ruler, you can actually just use this layout app now to measure things in your home, get the distances between them, or even if you were someone who was trying to do some sort of woodwork, being able to get measurements directly in the headset. It gives you some options to set up furniture in your home too. If you were trying to remodel a room or redecorate, it might be kind of useful in that way. The Quest Pro is actually going to get a performance boost, helping it stay a little bit more on par with the Quest 3 user experience. And this is comparing the Quest Pro to itself at launch, but they're saying it's going to unlock an extra 34% increase in the CPU and a 19% increase in the GPU when dynamic resolution is turned on, which is kind of funny to see the 3 times as expensive headset at launch working to try and keep up with the new Quest 3. I guess that's progress, but if any of you out there have a Quest Pro, I'd love to know how you're feeling about it at this point with the Quest 3 launch and everything else going on. And then there's some other minor stuff with v60, safe browsing. I'll leave a link in the top comment and in the description to the full patch notes if you're really wanting to dig in and read about all that. But we've mostly gone over any of the stuff that's at least cool or annoying. We had a winner in our VR community this last week winning a brand new Quest 3. And congratulations, Nicholas Camel. Congratulations to you. Another congrats to Nicholas. And because all of you have shown up so much, the channel has grown more in the last 2 months than in like a year prior to this. We wanted to say another thank you and just keep these giveaways rolling. So there's already a new Quest 3 giveaway that just started. There'll be a link in the top comment in the description if you do want to get entered in that. It's the same format as last time. It's on Gleam. Different ways you can enter to get more points, more chances to win there. But again, I've just got to say, I know I say it all the time, but thank you so much. We hit 60, we're at 62,000. It just keeps climbing because of all of you showing up. Thank you so much for all your support these years. And thank you for all your support during our Thankmas live stream. Thousands of dollars over the years now have been donated because we keep participating in Thankmas, because all of you show up and make amazingly generous donations. So thank you. For a long time now, Quest users have been able to play their PC games wirelessly from their PC, whether using Oculus' own new AirLink, the older virtual desktop that's been around for a long time. But now Steam is actually jumping in on this. They've dropped a new free Steam Link app. And so far, people talking about it have said it seems to run the Steam games even better than any of the Oculus software. Steam says here that you need to have a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi network for your headset, at least a GTX 970 NVIDIA, Windows 10, and of course one of the Quest headsets to do this, but now you're running these directly through Steam, directly to your headset. This is adding a lot of fuel to the fire of speculation around the Valve Decker that's possibly coming, especially as we've seen their technology evolve through the Steam Deck. It's exciting to see that they just jump on this and say, hey, we're willing to make something for Quest. And Andrew Bosworth acknowledging that they had actually talked to Steam about doing this, and Steam was willing to jump right in and cooperate. Seems like some of the other big companies in the VR space could learn from that. But I think this is really exciting and has me kind of thinking about the Valve Decker again, and if it's coming anytime soon. What do you think out there? Do you use much PCVR? And if you do, are you hoping that this will help your Steam games run better? Because I personally hope so, as I've had a little bit of a back and forth with Steam VR games lately. Full body tracking has long been a pain for VR users who want to do it. Whether you were doing it on Steam with base stations, you had multiple trackers you had to add to your body that had to stay within range of being visible of those. And of course, they all each needed their own battery, their own charging. Now, for standalone tracking, Vive has finally launched their Inside Out Vive Ultimate Tracker, they call it, for $200. Something that I want to discuss here because I'm curious, is this something that you're hoping comes along to Quest? Or now that Quest has shown us those demos where the full body tracking is even being done internally just through its own sensors, would these kind of trackers be necessary? But basically what these do is these each have 2 wide field of view cameras that do their own inside out tracking, just like our headsets now do, tracking the room around you. This would eliminate the need for headsets like like the Vive XR Elite for anyone who actually has one, to have any sort of external tracking to do full body tracking. They are currently only for HTC headsets, but they say they will be eventually coming to Open XR and Steam VR based PCVR setups too. Ultimately, like most full body tracking solutions, it probably will be the most accurate way to have full body tracking is still to have additional sensors on your body, but it's one more thing to charge, it's one more thing to wear. Do you care about that, or are you more interested in what Quest is trying to do, where it would track your body or at least predict what your body's doing through the internal headset itself, and then of course the additional points of capture of your hands, your arms, your controllers, your shoulders, and everything the headset can see. I think if it were to take off, I wouldn't be surprised to see a future headset that has one camera out as far on the front as possible, aiming directly down to try and capture even your legs and feet. It's an interesting thing to think about in the future. Although I'm not someone who utilizes full body tracking almost ever, there is a huge subset of people, especially in VR chat, who love it and use it every time they're in VR. A lot of bright future VR news coming. It seems exciting this holiday season. We're seeing better deals on some headsets, especially older ones, but other technology. It's got me excited for the future of what's coming, and all of you out there have just been so supportive. It's got me very excited for the future of where our channel's going. We might have some updates for you in the new year about that too. Just bigger, better things coming thanks to all of you. So thank you again, and I will see you in another reality.